Greetings YouTube, we're back in the train room for another layout update video. I do realize that it has been quite a while since I've done one of these. There have had some pretty significant setback in here. It turns out that the sewer line for the house runs right underneath the floor here and had to be redone. So I had to take out a significant amount of the bench work and roll up the carpet, and they had to jackhammer through the floor here and put in a new sewer line. So yeah, that happened. But I've gotten things put pretty much back together. The bench work all went back together fine. The only thing that didn't really work out was the carpet here I don't know if you can see here, there's a bunch of wrinkles in the carpet. Yeah, that's just from having it being rolled up, I guess. Not much I can do about that. Anyway, since the last video, I have made some progress. Not a lot, but enough to show off on a video. I think at the end of the last video, the track was barely poking through the wall here. And so I have continued the double track main out from the other room, across the bridge, around the mountain here, and up to the first set of turnouts, and up to the passenger station. And that's about as far as I've gotten. Show you a little more detail. So one of my main goals here with this tunnel was to make it difficult to see into the other room. I mean, you kind of can, but you have to get way down here. And if the lights are off in the other room, you cannot see anything down there. So I'm pretty happy with how that turned out. I 3D printed this portal and the stone block walls inside that you can see on either side. And then we come out to, this bridge was a kit that I put together a long time ago. It was on my old layout. I'm sorry, I don't remember what the brand of the kit was. And then it comes out, and so all the track in the other room is code 100, and so far all the track in here is code 83. And all this is from my old layout. I haven't had to get anything new. So it's code 83 flex track. I believe it's Atlas. I'm 95% sure this is Atlas flex track. It's on cork roadbed. I have been ballasting as I go along, mainly because I don't enjoy ballasting, and I don't want to end up with this entire room full of track and have to ballast it all at once. I'd rather, like, you know, work a little slower on the track and do the ballasting as I go. On the curves, I have super elevated. I did some shimming underneath the outside here. It's pretty subtle. I don't know if you can even... I maybe could have gone a little bit more. I don't know. And then... So one of the things I unfortunately had to compromise on was the radius here. I really wanted to have like a 50 to 60 inch radius, but I just don't have the space for it. So the inner track is 40 inch and the outer is 42 inch radius. So it is what it is. And then, so how I did the layout here, I'll show you. I printed off everything at full size, and then I taped these down, and I had the whole thing taped and set up. And then what I did is, to transfer it from the paper down to the foam, I took a knife and I cut down the center lines here of the tracks, and then I took a Sharpie and I marked it. And then for the cork roadbed, I used this product from Liquid Nails, and this stuff is really good. I would strongly recommend this. It goes on tacky, so it'll stay there, but it gives you a few hours, half an hour to an hour to work with it to get things lined up exactly right. And then I don't know how long it takes to cure. I usually leave it overnight and come back and mess with it. So I use that on the roadbed to hold that down, and then I used a very thin layer of this to just tack the track onto the roadbed. You don't want to use too much on top because you don't want it to goop up through the ties and have it be seen. So basically that just kind of tacks it down, and then much like the full-size version, the ballast and the glue then hold it permanently in place. So then these turnouts, I believe these are also Atlas turnouts, and they have tortoise switch machines on them. And something I do whenever I have turnouts, I cut out the foam and I mount the turnouts and everything up to a piece of plywood, and I get upside down and off, you know, not when I get when it's separate, I get the tortoise machines mounted up and make sure everything's working right, and then I put it into the layout. It's just a lot easier, so you're not like, oh, underneath here trying to get things lined up and work on stuff. It's just, I find it a lot easier to do it that way. And then so this turnout here is what splits off, and that will go over to the branch line and the switching yard, which will be back here up against the wall. And then these two turnouts here split off for the tracks to the passenger station for the platforms. The main lines go straight through the middle of the passenger station, and then there are 4 total sidings in the passenger station. This is platform track 1. That's for trains coming from the west going east. Will pull in here, drop people off, pick people up, head out going that way. Track number 2 is the exact opposite. Trains come in here, stop, drop people off, pick people up. Then the 3rd platform track out here is for the branch line that runs back and forth here to the different cities and the layout. And then up top, there's going to be, this will be a light rail, it'll be lighter code track than this. And this will be for the light rail trolley line that just runs back and forth here in the city. So the overall design of the passenger station, I wanted it to be lots of windows, lots of glass, because I want to be able to see in and see everything. So this is kind of the plan I've pretty much settled on. There will be doors. I haven't got the doors dialed out yet, but this is kind of and I wanted the passenger station as you walk into the room to be like the first thing you really see, that really like draws you in. And that's, yeah, it's going to be about, I think it's about 7 feet long. Wanted it long enough that I could get a medium length passenger train into it. Not obviously a prototypical length, because that would take up more space than I even have. So, and I've also started working on here on the downtown area. So the plans for this is, there's a road. Well, first of all, the park is in the middle. I have actually worked on this end down here some. So there's park area down the middle, and then a one-way street that goes all the way around the square. And then this end down here is going to be the courthouse. I got some plans for it, kind of something like that. Courthouse down here. The tall buildings are all going to be on this side of the street. And then City Hall is going to be right here. Actually, I have a Walters kit for that. This is what I'm going to use for the City Hall. And then down this side of the street here will be like 3, 4, 5-story buildings. There's the furniture store from previous videos you've seen. And others, I may do I haven't totally decided on how the streets are going to be around here. Yeah, I still need to really work that out. Then I've got several other taller trees that are going to kind of fill in down here at this end. Definitely are going to be more trees here in the park. This is just all I have for now. And I guess that's all I've got to show. Thanks for watching. I'll catch you in the next video.